are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Welcome, everyone. Now listening to another edition of the Narrative Podcast, and I'm your host, Halsey Allen. How's everybody doing today? I know you're doing great because you're on here listening to me. The Narrative Podcast, one of the best podcasts out there in podcast land. Yes. Welcome all my narrators. Welcome anybody new that may be tuning in right now. Welcome to you too. My narrators already know what my platform is about. My platform and all my content is about. So allow me to give any new listeners a brief rundown of my platform and my content. So let's start at the top. First of all, the Narrative Podcast. Where did I get that concept from? I named it the Narrative Podcast because I believe the media, we use a false narrative about original people and original culture. So I want to create a platform where I'm correcting that false narrative by providing positive frames of reference about original people and original culture. Basically, the media, they reinforce, push, and promote negative stigmas and stereotypes within our culture. And so I wanted to destroy those negative stereotypes and stigmas on my platform by, giving concrete examples of how we really are as opposed to how we are portrayed to be by the media. So basically, as a matter of fact, my tagline is the Narrative Podcast, changing the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative stereotypes about original people and original culture. So, that's basically what my podcast is about. Providing positive frames of reference about original people and original culture. I'm giving you positive examples of, original people, unity, family structure, leadership, entrepreneurship, just basically all the complete opposite of, what you see in the media and on social media, online, and hearing music and reading literature about our people and our culture. So, that's what I'm doing with my platform. My ultimate takeaway that I want people to understand from listening to my platform is how important it is to share positive frames of reference about our people and our culture online, to utilize your platform, whatever it be, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Twitter, whether it be YouTube, whatever you're active on, just make sure you're putting out positive frames of reference about our people and our culture, because these days you're basically judged on what you're posting online. So just imagine they already feed the masses negative frames. They're already fed negative frames of reference about our people and our culture. They always show us from the lens of, us living in depravity, being disenfranchised, not intelligent, violent against each other and other people. We're often portrayed as lazy, amoral, and the list goes on. So what we need to do on our social media platforms or digital platforms is always be posting something positive about our people and our culture. I mean, like you can post whatever you want online, whatever you're interested in, post it. That's whatever you're interested in. But just know people associate you with what you post. So just imagine, they're already fed negative frames of reference about us. So just imagine if we're always posting like gang culture, violence culture, gun culture, drug culture, uh, thought culture, pimp culture, whore culture, just all these negative if we, embrace and lean into all these negative stigmas and stereotypes they have about us, we're posting it online. So, it's not about us caring what they think about us. It's just us getting correct representation because the media goes out of their way to misrepresent us, to misrepresent the facts about our people and our culture. So, it's their job to do that. Number one, they do it to sell news. And then number two, to cause division. And number three, to, sustain the balance, sustain the order for the higher echelon people outside of our culture, aka, white people. So to like keep the pristine image of them by portraying us in a certain light. So, nobody will oppose them. Nobody ask questions. Nobody try to, get the tangible things that they're due in life. And just have these negative images of us circumventing around and, us embracing it and us absorbing all that negativity. And, when you absorb so much negativity, you act it out in your life, or they show up in your life in certain areas. And, it has worked in our life here in America and abroad, with our people, the gross misrepresentation of us visually in the media and in television and movies and literature. So that's, my ultimate takeaway I want people to get from my content that I have. Now, secondly, you noticed I was saying original a lot. And the reason why I was saying original a lot was because I believe, or no, I know, original is a better word to describe our people and our culture versus black. We was on this planet like 5,000 years before everybody, before every other ethnicity, culture, creed, religion, whatever. We was here 5,000 years before everybody. We didn't crawl out of no primordial ooze. We didn't evolve from monkeys, baboons, chimpanzees, apes, simians. No, we didn't evolve from no primordial creatures. We wasn't, dwelling in caves. We wasn't walking around hunched over with a cranial overbite. We was already fully sentient, fully intelligent. We was on this planet, building infrastructures, building, building things, land masses. We was building land masses. We was creating things. We was living off the land. We was thriving. We was, building citadels. Just highly advanced, civilization type stuff. That's what we was doing in the early civilization. I don't know where they got all those other images, but that wasn't us. That was somebody else. We wasn't walking around dragging our knuckles on the ground. Now, The reason why I say original, is a better description of a more accurate description of who we are as a people versus black is because, like I said, we was 5,000 years before every other person on the planet. And, during that time when we flourished, the word black, was a real prominent staple in our culture. It was used in a positive way. It meant power. It meant opulence. It meant, pristine. It was a real prestigious word. But colonizers took a hold of it and they flipped the narrative and they made it mean something negative over time. And, perfect example is, the dictionary. When you go to any dictionary or thesaurus and look up the word black, it's the only color in the dictionary that denotes origin. And what do I mean when you go up, and open a dictionary or pull out the dictionary app on your phone, you type in the word black or turn to the page with the word black, you will see Aboriginal people or original people descending or, coming from Africa. So they're letting you know they're equating the word black with Africa. So this like any, melanated people from Africa, and then they go down the list describing the how to use the word black. Nouns, verbs, adjectives, so on, etc., etc., and example sentences, and all that is negative. For example, it'd be like black, dirty, dank, desolate, black, dreary, depressed. And in some versions, not of God, depending on what, type of dictionary you have. You got the Mediterranean one, you got the Oxford one. But more to the point, they go out of their way to make it seem, negative. So it's like, psychological thing. It's like, it's exactly psychological warfare, the way they constructed the English language and the use of the word black. Now, in that same dictionary, you look up the word original, and original, there's no negative connotation surrounding the word original. Original means, positive, the beginning, the first, in many cases, the best. The way they have it in the dictionary is, black means, death, dying, suffering, the end of all things, and our people is anything but that. We're very much alive, we're flourishing, and, we have so much to offer and so much we've contributed to the world. I think original is better befitting to us. Not only that, we were and are the original man and original woman of this planet. We originated written and spoken language. We originated medicine. We originated science, mathematics, alchemy. Pretty much every modern day convenience you can think of, we originated it. So I think the word original versus black is a better thing to call us, is better suited to describe us than black. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the word black. If you're accustomed to referring to yourself as black, go right on ahead. I'm not telling you not to. I don't tell people what not to do on my platform. That's not what my platform is. I'm just telling you why I personally refer to myself as an original man and refer to our people as original people versus black. If you're comfortable, saying the word black, and of course black is beautiful. Of course, being an original man, I already know that. I already know the origins of the word, the way we used it in early civilization versus to how it got flipped to negativity over time. So I'm already, knowledgeable of that. I just feel that original is better suited to describe us um, versus black. So on my platform, I refer to our people as original um, versus black. So I hope that cleared that up for you. Um, Now I'm going to dive right on into the content. Uh, Before I dive into the content, I want to clear up a couple things. First thing up, this is a monetized platform, so there will be ad rolls throughout this recording. I'm recording right now, so I don't know when the ads will occur until after I'm done recording. So it can be like in mid speech at any given time during this recording session. I won't know when the ads will pop up until after I share it back on social media. Uh, so one thing's for certain, two things for sure. You're going to hear ads, but don't stop listening until I'm done broadcasting. You will be rewarded. That's just how I pay the bills. That's just the podcast game. Uh, Second, I have my podcast broken up into sections. I try not to exceed 1 hour for so many purposes. I want my content to resonate. I want my content to be digestible. When I first started podcasting, I had no clear direction what I wanted to do. I would just basically hit record and speak and speak and speak, and I didn't have a clear direction. I didn't know what I wanted to do on my platform. I just know I wanted to, talk about, what was ever on my mind. So I had to take a step back. It's like, what do I want to do with my platform? I want to uplift and edify my people. And so in doing that, I examined my content. I broke it down into sections, and I gave each section the speaking points. So it's broken down into sections. Each section has a speaking point, and I try my very best to time each section so I'm not talking in circles and repeating myself. And I just want, a clear, concise flow to my content, and have people, if they wasn't able to catch me, if they don't have to clear their entire schedule to catch up on my episodes, you can just, listen to it at your leisure. I don't want to shoot way above people's heads and lose them. I just want it to be, clear, digestible, and applicable. So, it's conscious. If I have to give my podcast a name, I would say I'm practical conscious. I'm conscious but practical. I make consciousness practical. Like I'm the drive time of consciousness. So like you can get what you need, while you're on to and from wherever you're to and froming from. Where, if you own your own business, you don't lose any time listening to the Narrative Podcast, So it's all, nice, clear, and concise and to the point. Now, before I dive into this content for today, I'm going to have to give a moment of silence. We had a whole lot of madness happening in the week, as we always do. So much going on in the world. Losing so many people in the world starting off this year. We have lost an NBA legend. So I want to send the Narrative Podcast condolences out to the family, friends, associates, teammates, colleagues, and whoever knew Willis Reed. Passed away on March 21st. He was, he took the New York Knicks and gave them their first championship win. So, I want to give a warm Narrative Podcast round of applause for Willis Reed. Not applause, but I'm saying a moment of silence. My bad. A moment of silence heartfelt condolences to the, all those, encompassing like whoever you was connected to in life. I'm going to give a somber moment of silence for Willis Reed. All right. So now diving into the content on my very first section of the Narrative Podcast. This section is called the promo section. In this section, what I'm doing is I'm giving original people that own and operate their own business the opportunity to reach out to me for free promotion for their business, product, or service. I'm not charging any money. The purpose of me doing this is to do my part to help circulate the original people dollar within the original people community. Is my great expectation that the business owners that reach out to me are people that do for the community in which they're rooted in. So that means hiring more of their own, donating goods and services to the community, whatever the community needs, whether it be financial literacy, whether it be, food to anybody like in need of food or clothing or, whatever outreach services that their community needs, their businesses that supplies them with. So any and all business owners, original people business owners that own and operate their own business, have their own product or service that needs promotion, hit me up at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host, and in the subject bar type promo. Body of the email, tell me a little bit about yourself, business, product, or service. The more specific you are, the better promotional drop I can give you. The better the better sales pitch I can give you, the more information you provide me. So, like for example, if your business is online, of course, give me the email address. If you have a telephone number, of course, give me the telephone number. If you have a physical location, tell me about the physical location, your directions, how to get there, how much does the building hold, your hours of operation. Can you rent? Do you offer? Do you rent your facility out for stuff? Just be specific as possible. Anything you want me to know about your business, product, or service, include stuff like your tagline for your business, product, or service. And like I said, it's 110% free. You don't have anything to lose. I do have a platform. I do have a following. So why not utilize my platform to help expand your business? That means hiring more of your own. That means doing more for your community. So, it means more people know about you. All right, so that's it for the promotional section. On my next section, this is called the contest section. In this section, I'm currently running a contest for my podcast, the Narrative Podcast. It's basically an incentive rewards type deal. I'm rewarding my current, down for day one listeners, giving away a free prize to them. Giving a bulk supply of your favorite snack simply for tuning in to me. And then also welcoming the opportunity for new people to get acquainted with me. Also, you can enter the contest as well for your chance to win a bulk supply of your favorite snack. I call it the Chew On This contest. And to enter, it's the exact same email address I just gave for the free promotion for the business owners. But the only way how I'm separating them is through the subject bars. So for the Chew On This contest, what you want to do is hit me up at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host. In the subject bar, type Chew On This / or dash shopping while black. If you don't want to type out the entire word shopping while black, you can put SWB in all caps. And in the body of the email, include Of course, your most recent Shopping While Black experience. Then your mailing address, so I know where to send your bulk supply of your favorite snack. And then also include what type of snack you would like, so I know what to send you. And again, the entry is free. I'm not charging any money. Doing it for incentive. Um, as my platform grows, the prizes will get more extravagant. I'm trying right now to attract sponsors. So I'm making phone calls. I'm doing the work, pounding the pavement, doing what I got to do to grow and expand my platform. But speaking of growing and expanding my platform, um, download this episode of the Narrative Podcast and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. It's one click for you, but it's paying my bills for me. It helps expand the podcast. It's money. I can buy better equipment. I can give you more, a better podcast experience. I can transition on into video with that. So, support like that. Just download, all episodes, this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. They also have, the option on it to like it and share it to other platforms. You can do that as well. But what really gets me over the top is the downloads. So you can do all of that. You can share it. You can like it. But definitely, if you don't do nothing else, download it. Download all the episodes. All right. So on to my next section, or the heartbeat section. This is actually like those other two was just like the warm up to get you ready. This section is called the highlight section. And what I'm doing here in this section is I'm highlighting businesses owned and operated by original people, original men and original women that own their own business or have their own product or service. The reason why I'm doing this is to give you the positive frame of reference, about entrepreneurialism, because we don't see or hear that. We don't have, any television shows or movies depicting us, owning, operating our own businesses, giving back to the community and being studious citizens, like, the way Hollywood always portrays us. We're always in violence. We always got some type of dysfunction and toxicity going on. Case in point, for example, like Love and Hip Hop, great show, packed full of talented people in the industry, doing well for themselves, creating opportunities, but the violence level and the dysfunction level drown that aspect out. Like that's all you focus on is the dysfunction and the violence. You're not focusing on the entrepreneurialism, the fact that they came out of their surroundings and that now that they're thriving in the industry. They're homeowners and taxpayers and all that. All you're focusing in on is, them in ultra rare form, calling each other out of their name, fighting each other. You're not focusing on the fact that they're businessmen and business women. Another one, Black Ink Crew. That's just how they do it, how they portray us on television. But I'm trying to give you the positive example, positive frame of reference about, entrepreneurialism. The types of people I highlight in the highlight section are just regular people like you and I. Went from 9 to 5 gigging to owning their own business. They had a calling in life. They had something that they were passionate about. I'm putting out the positive frame of reference. You don't necessarily have to have a business plan. You don't necessarily have to have the education. You don't necessarily have to even have startup money to start a business. These people did it. The people I usually highlight in the highlight section, they found a way to do it, to start their own business. They didn't necessarily have, the correct education, the startup capital, intricate knowledge of whatever business that they're starting. Like they didn't know anything about whatever business that they started up. They just was playing it by ear, and they are now business owners flourishing in whatever industry that the business is. And then some more things I try to cover in the highlight section is types of businesses that I try to cover is like the business owners being impactful in the community that they're rooting in, doing some type of outreach. They either have their own nonprofit organization, or they pay into one, or donate their services to the community. Um, you know, those are the types of businesses that I attempt to highlight. And then my last qualifying factor they line up with is, my theme. And this month's theme is the season of spring. And so these businesses that I'll be highlighting today on the highlight section is businesses that I think of like, that I equate with the season of spring. So with spring, um, I'm thinking the first thing that comes to mind is spring cleaning. So that's something we do every springtime. We're organizing stuff. Uh, we're giving it the white glove inspection, the house, or the if you're not a homeowner, the unit, a good scrubbing, getting rid of stuff, all that, cleaning stuff in from the inside out, rearranging stuff. But you need cleaning products, and so businesses that I'll be highlighting today in the highlight section are original people owned business, or original people that have their own cleaning brands. And first up on the list is Per Home. It's PUR Home. And it's founded by Miss Angela Richardson and Michelle Richardson. Basically, it's non-toxic cleaner, and they just wanted cleaner, more ecological, eco-friendly options as opposed to the harsh chemicals that they've been using and been used to using. Uh, you know, Having allergic reactions to their day-to-day products they was using. So like you want to find like from them you'll find like dish stuff ranging from dish soap to floor cleaner to whatever, just anything you would scrub your house with. That's what they have. But they I think their mainstay is the thing that they focus on is the dish detergent Per. I've seen Per in like Target and Walmart. So I really try to give you the backstory, like in the highlight section. Unfortunately, it didn't play out this week like that because I want to give you the process, the beginning stages, like how they came up with the name, where they got the funding, just their evolutionary process. If you've been listening to me, from day one, or you're a narrator, so you can go on in my episode logs. You can see many episodes where I've done that. It's hit and miss with these. Sometimes you can find the information, sometimes you cannot. And this is one of the days where I couldn't find, all that background information. But definitely go support Per. And just let me reiterate something right quick before I jump on to the next one. We are due reparations, but until we get the reparations, it is an absolute must that we support our own businesses. Anybody that owns, any brother or sister that owns their own business and you know about it, you must support them. You must patronize their business, spend money with them, promote their business on your platform, promote their businesses if you know about it. just network with them, like help them grow their brand, help them grow their businesses or services. Group economics is absolute a must at this point. It's a must, or we face extinction as a people because we must have a means to economically sustain ourselves until we get the reparations. Because the way this system is set up and designed for us to fail. It's set up and designed for us not to be prosperous. It's set up and designed for us to live in strife and be looking every which direction but up. That's how it's designed. So if you find a way to make it out, to start your own business, just don't adapt the me and mine mentality. Think like, okay, I'm gonna leave this for future generations. I'm gonna pass the baton on to somebody in my family. I'm gonna go on for as long as I can go on, and then I'm gonna pass the opportunity on to somebody else so it can be here for future generations. That's how every other race does it. That's how the Asian community does it. That's how the Polish, Dutch community, you name it, Spanish community, they all use group economics. They all, put their money in the pot, sew up the block. They have houses and businesses within the neighborhoods that they're located in. So, it's a must. Group economics is a must. Second business. This is the Green Laundress. It was established in 2016 by Miss Erica Ahmad. It is eco-friendly. It's non-toxic, of course, vegan. So made with natural products or natural ingredients, nothing artificial, all natural. I think I forgot to put her contact information in my notes. So let me just punch up to see if I got the website. Okay, it's thegreenlaundress.com. And she has a host of everything, all of her products, the shipping cost. So she got tub scrubber, laundry soap, what else she got? Multi-purpose cleaner, tub scrub, multi-purpose cleaner, and laundry soap. That's what I'm seeing on the website. She also has her plug, so you can find out her history right on the website. It looks like she's in the interview. Fourth Sister, Fox.com, Wave.com, and then another interview. They're interviewing her, the Real Talk with Kwame Brown. That's what she got on her page, and then she got another one set to private. And yeah, go support her. What is this here? And she also advertises on Instagram. So supports Erica Ahmad. Ahmed. I'm saying Ahmad. It's Ahmed. Mrs. Erica Ahmed and the Green Laundress. It's like laundry. She took and combine the words like laundry and dress. It's laundress. Um, so go support that. I've been forgetting to do my little sound effects. So narrative podcast, round of applause for Per Home. And next one is I just said Green Laundress. And my last business I will be highlighting in the highlight section is The Hoot. The Hoot is all natural. The Hoot All Natural, excuse me. And the founder's name is Miss Tanya Newsom. The business was established in 2014. And the website address is Hoot, like it's Hoot like in owls do, Hoot Hoot, hootallnatural.com. And it's also eco-friendly, vegan, all natural ingredients. Now her story is a little bit different because she specializes in self-care products such as soap, cosmetics. She specializes in cosmetics, but she has expanded her line and now she's doing cleaning products as well. She got like a multi-surface cleaner, a disinfectant. Yeah, she got a disinfectant, multi-surface cleaners as well. She was, a cleaner for like about 20 years. And a professional cleaner 20 years, and she started the business because she didn't like the harsh chemicals, what they was doing to her own skin, and that's, kind of where she started added to the line and started doing, the cleaning products. So, yeah. Like I said, I usually try to go in more depth than that, the whole entire background story. But, I found what I found this week. Try to be more intricate next week. But like I said, the purpose of this section is put out the positive frame of reference by entrepreneurialism. And of course, all these people, they check the boxes, all the boxes. They're all like family owned and operated. So that's your example of generational wealth. They didn't have, acquired knowledge about, going into business, whatever they needed to know. They didn't study it in college. They didn't know. It's all trial and error on all sides of the board, but they found a way to make it work. And they are thriving and dominating in their industry, and they're expanding their line. So their businesses are increasing and getting better. So go support all of them. Go support Mrs. Newsom and The Hoot, all natural. Give a warm there to the podcast for Mrs. Tanya Newsom and The Hoot, all natural. All right. Now for my next section, This section is affectionately called the Spotlight section. And the Spotlight section is basically giving a prominent figure in our community their roses while they're here. So I'm spotlighting, the life and times of this person, the birthplace where they was born, and all their attributes, what makes them them, and what I personally admire about them, giving them their roses while they're here. And it's usually people in the entertainment industry, but ranging from actors, actresses, comedians, athletes, writers, producers, public figures. I've also highlighted religious figures. So, yeah. But the types of people I highlight in the highlight section is just people that have triumphed in the face of adversity. They do outreach in the community, philanthropy, giving back, either having their own nonprofit organization or paying into one, or being a spokesperson for some type of social cause or political cause, representing us well, speaking unapologetically on our plights, and just telling like it is, or being a good stand-up visual representation of us, not being messy, no stereotypical nothing, but I don't know, I might have messed up with this one. Nah, he's a good brother, but yeah, he just he gets to the point. But more to the point, basically what I'm doing in this section is also creating the healthy habit of, us saying nice things about each other, because we're lacking in that area. We use our, social media platforms and digital platforms to attack one another rather than build each other up. We've been programmed and conditioned to, put each other down online instead of bring each other up. The way the powers that be, the entities, the different entities that distribute the bag, they want to pit us against each other, and we feed right into it to acquire the bag. So we'll hop in somebody's DM or on somebody's timeline and say something slick, and and it goes back and forth, and it ensues from there, and then cut to YouTube and the Griot and what's the other one? The Shade Room, the clapbacks, and it's just it's super duper messy, and we're the only people that do it. So I want to create the healthy habit of bigging our brother up or bigging our sister up, rather than always talking down, talking greasy, dogging each other out online, as opposed to building each other up and edifying each other. That's basically what my podcast is about anyway, is, edifying and uplifting my people, not tearing down and destroying my people. So that's what I attempt to do on my podcast. Now, what I do also, though, I keep it real. If one of us is doing or saying something that got us all looking crazy, I will call that type of behavior out. But other than that, I don't drag nobody through the mud. I don't denigrate anybody. I don't do any name calling, mudslinging, or none of that. I don't subscribe to gossip. I don't promote gossip. None of that. But another interesting fact that I've come to realize, that I started the way for spotlighting, because before I added the spotlight section to my podcast, the Narrative Podcast, nobody on social media was spotlighting anyone. Now, every time you pull out your device, turn around, somebody's spotlighting something. Today's spotlighting is on this. Today's spotlighting is on such and such and this and that. Spotlight. Nobody was spotlighting nothing until I put the spotlight section So I added the spotlight section to my podcast, the Narrative Podcast. So, you know, I'm not mad that so many people are spotlighting now. They say imitation is the best form of flattery. I consider myself flattered. Not only shows that people are listening to my podcast, actively listening, people are taking my message and applying my message, like using their platforms to say something nice about their brother and sister instead of tearing them down and denigrate them. So I can like take my victory lap on that because nobody would spotlight anybody till I added the spotlight section on my podcast, the Narrative Podcast. One time for me.
You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
You better know it. Now, today's spotlight goes to none other than a very funny, humorous brother, actor, comedian, writer, producer, so many more hats. Comes from, you know, an entertaining family that kind of kicked the door in and gave birth to so many nuances within the entertainment industry. One, most recently, we just got through witnessing the Super Bowl. So, like, before this person's family did this, like the Super Bowl didn't have a halftime show. There was no halftime show before this person's family created a halftime show. So if you don't get the hint by now, let me fill you in. Today's spotlight goes to none other than Mr. Marlon Wayans. Born Marlon Lamont Wayans in the Fulton housing projects in New York City. He attended Aurelio H. LaGuardia High School of Music and Performing Arts. If it sounds familiar, it should be familiar. It was the actual real-life high school portrayed in the late 70s film, early 80s film Fame, which turned into a TV series. That's what it, you know, that school was based off of from the that movie Fame, or Fame was based off the actual school. But nevertheless, not only that, he attended the same school with, he was in the same acting class as the late Tupac Shakur and Miss Jada Pinkett Smith. So Marlon, although he is like one of the youngest Wayans in the Wayans clan, he is one of the most successful Wayans. He creates his own opportunities, even though he's grateful for what his brother Keenan did for him. He has never ever subscribed to waiting around for a check and has been very, very vocal about that. He's been writing and producing since he was 19 years old, and all his knowledge is self-taught, although he attended like a traditional, his bio says he went to Howard University for a couple semesters too. But although he had received traditional training, everything, you know, he learned on the cuff, he applied it. And then, of course, growing up in the projects, that made you more, you know, use that street knowledge to maneuver around the industry. He's been in the rooms, he's heard the talk, and he's the voice to say, you know, where we're falling short at as a people without coming across as preachy. Also, just very humorous guy, down to earth, spiritual, you know, by no stretch, you know, ever coming or portraying or perpetuating that he's perfect in any way or form. He's just like, hey, if you want to be successful in life, do this and do more of this and less of this. So it could easily be like a motivational speaker as well. Like he can clean up on Instagram doing motivational posts, doing like, he can kill Instagram like Will Smith was killing Instagram with his motivational speeches. But yeah, so that's what I admire about the brother. He's well to do for self. He's solution based. Um, Definitely somebody to look up to. Um, if you're a comedian, that would probably make a perfect mentor for you. Trying to get your feet wet. His comedy is just hilarious. Uh, I'm not a super big fan of the physical humor, the slapstick. Like he's kind of a master at that. I'm not into that, but he makes me get into it because he just does it. He's so masterful with it. Uh, like the Wayans Brothers are like one of my favorite shows on the WB when the WB was prominent.